Welcome to the Livingston Parish Council regular scheduled council meeting. Today is Thursday, May 28th at 6 p.m. Today, Mr. Lonnie Watts has the invocation.
Heavenly Father, Lord, we just have so much good. We promise to be.
Councilman Coates, will you lead us in the pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Sandy, will you call the roll?
Mr. Goff?
Here.
Mr. Artie?
Here.
Mr. Coates?
Here.
Ms. Sandifer? Here. Mr. Wascom?
Here.
Mr. Watts?
Here.
Mr. Taylor?
Here.
Mr. Shavers?
Here.
Mr. Mangus?
Here.
Present.
Kelly, I have something I'd like to say.
Can we get through the first few before we get to that point?
Sure.
All right. As a reminder, we ask that you please mute all your cell phones. Anybody wishing to address any agenda item, we ask that you fill out the paperwork in the back and bring it up to our council staff up here. We'll allow you 3 minutes for that agenda item to speak upon it. Please address the council. Don't address anybody in the audience and be respectful to one another. Councilman Erdy.
Yes, Mr. Giroux, I just want to see if you looked at the agenda tonight. Have you looked at everything on there, and is everything in order and good to go for council tonight?
With regard to
Turn your microphone on.
With regard to item number 9, I think Mr. Cascio had spoken with some members of the council on this. But the way that the item is drafted, it says discussion and possible action regarding a decision of the fire board. As far as discussion, that's one thing, but as far as possible action, I think Mr. Cascio had addressed that with some of the members of the council. Because the decision was a fire board decision, and it's they who control, and because it's a civil service issue, and because really there's no action that the parish council can take, at most maybe it could be a possible resolution regarding the action, but there's not this, as far as overruling or anything along those lines, it would be beyond what would be allowable. And it really, I don't know if that's the intention of how it's worded here on the agenda. That was the one issue on the agenda that Mr. Cascio asked me to bring up with the council.
All right.
May I reply, since I'm the council
Yeah,
member, that, okay, so I did speak with Mr.
That's what I
Cascio about
thought.
it, and he told me he was going to be here.
Right.
So, anyway, the reason that it is on the agenda this way, this was sent in to be on the agenda this way by Miss Andrea Bell. It's word for word with one correction of the Livingston Parish Fire Board. We don't have that, so I made the correction, the Livingston Parish Fire Protection District 5 Board. But so this was to fulfill what she was putting on the agenda, and there were email discussion back and forth between myself and Mr. Cascio, and I asked him, tell me verbatim what to put on the agenda, and he said the email is sufficient, meaning the email that Ms. Bell sent in. So that's why it is on the agenda this way. Okay.
I just wanted to honestly address what Mr. Erdy asked me, so.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, number 8, adopt the minutes, April 23, 2026, and May 14, 2026. Do I have a motion? Got a motion by Councilman Mangus, second by Councilwoman Sanford. That passed unanimous. All right. Mr. Dugas. Today I would like everybody to wish Mr. Dugas a happy birthday.
Happy birthday. You should make us sing, Bill.
Look, As you can see, he just got beat red. And because Mr. Dugas has done so much hard work for this parish, and y'all know we all call him for everything, he has a couple of agenda items that he would like to get done first so he can go have dinner with his family. Does anybody have a problem with that? No? All right. Mr. Dugas, come up to the podium and we'll go over your agenda items first. Turn on the microphone. All right,
Okay.
so what numbers do we need to go over first?
The only one that I think one got deferred, the only other one was 16, something to do with Glory Drive.
Number 16, adopt a resolution to amend LP Resolution 26-139 to update the length of Glory Drive from 1,609 feet to 3,693 feet, 293 feet. This is in Councilman Coates' district.
I'll make that motion.
Got a motion by Councilman Coates. Got a second by Councilman Erdy.
So the discussion, I guess, that I wanted to make sure I was here for is we had originally measured that to a gate.
Okay.
And I think the gate since has been removed, so now they're making the length longer. But the width of the road is right. But Robert, I have not seen any plat map or the ordinance that gives us the servitude. So that's kind of where I'm at, is I know that they have a petition that's been signed. We've done everything else, but I've not seen any plat that's been approved of that 60-foot right-of-way.
So what we need to do is defer this and try to get, and see if we get a,
I'm assuming that's
do you have that?
per the ordinance.
Yep. All right, so you want to make a motion?
So I'll make a new motion to defer it till we get more information.
All right, so we'll defer it and get more information. Mr. Erdy? Yeah, all right. So we're going to defer to the next council meeting and try to get more information for this, okay?
That was it.
All right, go ahead and vote on your computer.
Thank you, sir.
All right, and thank you, and happy birthday,
All right.
and
I
everything.
wanna
that you
eat.
do.
Thank y'all.
Go have dinner with your family.
You got it.
All right. Back to number 9. Discussion of possible action regarding the disciplinary decision made by the Livingston Parish Council Fire Protection District 5 Board concerning the suspension of LP Fire Protection District 5 Fire Chief Joe Kowalski following the reported use of a racial slur, including review of board processes, disciplinary standards, and further action deemed necessary. Ms. Sandiford put this on the agenda, so I'm going to pass it over to her.
So I was asked to put it on the agenda, and I spoke with a lady named Pastor Reed, and they would like, I know Pastor Reed would like to speak at the meeting tonight, so you want to come on up, Pastor Reed? Oh, we have cards, I'm sorry, okay.
How many cards do we
So-
have? 3? All right, Pastor Reed, if you wouldn't mind. And come up, state your name and address.
My name is Pastor Jackie Reed. Our church address is 602 Myrtle Street, Denham Springs, Louisiana.
Okay. All right, I'm going to give you 3 minutes, but I'll give you a little bit further down to closer to 4 to kind of wrap everything up, okay?
I didn't hear what this gentleman was saying in the beginning as related to the discussion, so I'm not sure. The mic wasn't on. I don't know what he said.
Ma'am, I was just addressing, they asked if there was any issue with any of the agenda items. The way that the agenda item is worded as discussion and possible action, obviously discussion is fair game and purely proper, but as far as any action by the council, because this is a fire board decision and because the council doesn't make disciplinary rulings or overruling the fire district, and because this is a civil service employee, the council can't take like an appeal action over the fire district, but that obviously has no effect whatsoever on your right to discuss and bring whatever things you wanted to state before the council,
Okay, I just wanted to be clear because I didn't hear
Sure, no,
what was happening.
I appreciate it, thank you.
All right, so having heard that and understanding that no action can be taken by the board, and this is our opportunity to be heard, I just want to make it very clear that I believe that the punishment rendered by the fire board was not in alignment with the severity of the alleged offense and behavior. A fire station symbolizes courage, selflessness, community protection, and unwavering readiness because it acts as a central hub for life-saving efforts. It represents a safe haven where help is always available, as well as being a cornerstone of civic safety and neighborhood solidarity. In essence, people are most vulnerable when help is needed and deserve consistent, equal access to treatment, regardless of individual beliefs. People often say, well, Black people use the word themselves, but that argument misses the point. Public officials should be held to a higher standard. Respect for the community should come first. There are many things people do every day that are wrong. Violence, drugs, hatred, disrespect, and we do not excuse those behaviors simply because they exist. The same applies here. The use of a racial slur is inappropriate and harmful regardless of who says it. Understanding that you can't take any action, I want to ask, are you as a board in agreement with the decision? And are you willing to take the risk that a delayed response could increase the risk of loss of life that exposes the parish to a potential lawsuit resulting from the actions or non-actions of the council? That would be a double offense to me since I'm a taxpayer and I have to bear that burden as well. So I have just a couple questions. Who appoints the fire board? What is the vetting process? Is there any training involved? Is it a volunteer or paid position? Is there a pool from which these appointments are taken? Are there any bylaws? What sets the standard for which they make their decisions? Are you as council members familiar with them? Who has access to these bylaws if they exist? After the appointment, what's the engagement? So what is the responsibility other than appointing these citizens to a position and allowing them to do what they do?
Thank you. If you want to, yeah, go ahead. Microphone.
Those were excellent questions, and those are things that we wrestle with. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Ms. Teal, but there's like 42 boards in some way, shape, or form that parish council members appoint. Like, we all don't appoint to have 9 members. Not every particular fire protection. Like, I don't have an appointment to fire protection 5 at all. But those are great questions as far as who appoints them. Ms. Sandifer, Councilwoman Sandifer can answer that, and I think Mr. Taylor and Mr. Wascom, you have appointments to 5. But we on the parish council appoint. As far as do they have bylaws, I think that's what Mr. Duro was saying is that's a civil service position, and it's also there's rules on how their disciplinary actions go. I'm afraid the worst that we can really do is make a resolution, and I'm willing to do that we don't condone any form of racial slur, no matter who says that. That's unacceptable. This is 2026. But we can try to answer your questions, and frankly, they're great questions. And we need people to be involved, to actually go to these meetings so that they are accountable board members.
So who,
Just appreciate your questions.
thank you so much. So of you that are sitting here, who appoints to District 5? Who are those?
I have an appointment, Councilwoman Sandifer has an appointment, and Councilman Wascom has an appointment. Councilwoman Sandifer has 3, I have 1, and Councilman Wascom has 1. My appointment that I have, she was on there before I got here. To that, and then I reappointed her. She had been on there for a long time. Councilman Wascom, I think yours has been on there for a long time as well, right? And Councilwoman Sandifer has, I think, updated a couple.
I made new appointments, 2 new appointments in late October, and I made a new appointment at the very last council meeting.
So are there term limits to the appointments, or how does that work?
It's a 2-year term.
Okay. And what's your involvement after this appointed? Is it just left up to them to follow the rules? Is there any involvement of the council, of the people that appoint them, after they're appointed? And I understand with 42 or whatever number of boards, you can't get engaged, but there has to be some accountability somewhere. So you just appoint someone, and then you're finished, and then whatever they do, as this gentleman said, because they're protected by civil service, there's nothing that can be done. Unless I misunderstood.
They're not all civil service. Some boards.
So particularly, I'm interested in the fire chief right now.
Yes, right. But we don't have any authority over, like, the fire chief. And maybe Mr. Goff Councilman Goff could weigh in a bit because he knows more
So
about fire.
if you have no authority and he makes decisions or makes this supposed slur, who's accountable for that? Obviously, I believe it's my understanding that the fire board that's made up of 5 people made a unanimous decision to suspend him for 2 weeks, and correct me if I'm wrong, and take some training. And at the meeting, when that was rendered after coming out of executive session, and Pastor Keller is here, and she attempted to ask the question, the board chair politely said that we couldn't ask any questions and began to explain it. Then there was another gentleman who took his, just jumped in very disrespectfully and said that they made the decision, it was a final decision, and nothing could be done, and we couldn't talk. So what I'm hearing is you have a responsibility to make the appointment, but because of the various duties that you perform in other areas, they just operate. And the fire chief is protected by civil service. And so then me, as a community member, I can lose trust that if I have an issue, if he's coming or he's sending his folks. Safety, trust, basic rights. But then I hear, I don't have a responsibility. I can't do anything about it. Well, if that culture continues, and we're in 2026, what are we supposed to do? I pay taxes. I live here. I'm a human being. We all are human beings. Nobody has the right to decide if you're going to come to my fire or my car wreck or my this or my that because you personally don't believe this. Everybody has a personal belief. We all do. But when you become a public servant, you have a responsibility to honor the role which you've taken, and my personal beliefs have to take a back seat. So, what is a fireable offense? Okay? I mean, if you can't take any action regarding the past, what can you do moving forward to ensure this culture doesn't continue? Because I can promise you, if it's at the top, it's going to filter down. And if it's accepted at one fire station, then the door is open for it to be accepted everywhere else. And that, I'm getting upset, and I shouldn't, but you're striking a nerve because this is a lifetime fight. And today, in 2026, I expect better from public service. You make an appointment. Do you have a pool? That board looks nothing like any of us that are in this community. You know, I know for elected positions, you choose to run. Appointments, where do you get this board? I mean, your pool to make the appointment.
Call the next one.
Chandler Cooley, name?
Chandler Cooley, 440 Foster Street. I remember when my house caught on fire when I was 6 years old, and I remember losing everything in that fire. After hearing the fire chief's comment, why should I trust them to put a fire out in my neighborhood in a timely manner? In my lifetime, I've seen majority of people treat animals with more decency and respect than Black people, and I don't plan on raising a family here with this continued racism being projected publicly and nothing being done about it.
All right. Thank you.
Jackie Reed? No. Deborah Keller?
Good evening.
Good evening.
As
State your
stated,
name and address, please.
Deborah Keller, 30217 Stump. I pastor Roberts United Methodist Church, 201 Julia Street in Denham Springs, Louisiana. And some of the things that I want to express have been said, but I just want to reiterate, if I may, because I wrote some things down to stay on task here, because I too am kind of taking a call, even the reason why that I'm here, to speak about something like this in 2026. We're not in 1906. So with all that being said, I want to just say that I'm here to challenge the actions taken by the board that oversees District 5 Fire Department. It's very clear that the chief used the N-word by the board's decision to suspend him for 2 weeks without pay and to attend classes to understand cultures. To me, that's kind of like pulling a Band-Aid off a cut. Then the cut opens back up because the wound is dirty underneath. The community inside and outside, the African American community, are in disbelief at the slap on the wrist that was given to the chief. I want to say that people are watching the parish. I'm a lifelong resident of the parish. And I was to say, if I was a company looking to locate in this parish, I might think twice about it after hearing something like that, if I wanted to relocate to my business, to a company, to a parish that we don't feel safe in, with that mindset, someone that's in control of our district. The board that oversees District 5 lacked compassion on that night. We all should be accountable for our actions, especially those in power. Leadership is not a shield for responsibility, it's a higher calling for responsibility. When this does not happen, public trust is broken. It was broken. Hearts were broken. People put on boards that we hire shouldn't use their power for an abusive manner. It should be for a greater integrity, greater consequences, because trust is broken. It's a general consensus of the African American community that we don't feel safe. I just want to reiterate, we don't. To have someone like that in charge of our safety. My mom still lives there. I have family there. Family in this room. None of us feel safe. I'm afraid for our safety. This affects more than the residents of District 5, because if a large fire happens, a disaster happens, other districts are called in to help. Am I right? If one can't handle, they call in other districts to help. If someone in charge, heart is not in the right place, that's a bad situation. The board chair of District 5 said that their decision was final and no questions could be asked. One slight correction, it wasn't polite, it was rude. It was rude. I felt 2 feet tall when I walked out of that room, the way that we were addressed. I did. We should all be respected, not talked down to. The community is calling for the chief to step down. When we really want to do something, we find reasons to do. When we don't want to do something, we find reasons not to. I know about boards. I know about where you sit. I know decisions are hard. I know we can pass this on to civil service, loopholes, but where do you stand as men and women tonight on this issue? Where do you stand? Because our action speaks louder than words. Silence is consent. And I don't hear much response from this board. Silence is consent. Where do you stand? Where do you stand? I pray that you will let God order your steps and order your hearts. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. All right. Councilman Goff. You.
Okay.
Councilman Goff, you request to speak?
I'll do everything I can not to get emotional about this particular topic. I do believe that this council should pass a resolution tonight and take a stand, just like we did with the carbon capture part of it. Like, this is what we feel, this is what we believe. We as a body appoint that board. There is individuals that have appointing authority that goes out and pulls from a pool, but the body as a whole is responsible for those boards, all 40 of them. It's just the way it is. We're responsible for them. So when they come short or fall short, it is, in my world, my responsibility as a council member. And one of the things here I did is to make a request for the minutes of that meeting. And most of the time they record it because I want to hear it from myself. I don't like Miss Deborah Keller feeling less of a person. I don't like anyone going in and being disrespected. And just like Mr. Taylor said at the meeting to start, it's 3 minutes, but we can have some latitude there to make sure we are heard and the individuals are heard. And I think that fell way short on that particular meeting, that particular night, if that conduct was in my eyes unbecoming of an appointment. So that being said, this particular board, because of the civil service, is really different than everything else, and they kind of are new into the civil service world because they haven't been paid firemen for a long, long time. A lot of the board members before, it was just all volunteer. The tone goes off and they respond. I don't know if it'll go anywheres or not, but my heart and soul is in the fire district, Fire District 4 from 83. They will respond. There's more than just one or two or a board that handles that fire district. I want you to feel comfortable that you will have someone come and assist and help and be there when you're called and needing help. But this board has a duty. This board has a duty to take care of their business. And I don't know what our latitude is to do that other than the resolution for it. What I'm mainly want to say whenever I'm speaking here is my apology as a council member for the actions of a board that I am responsible for. This is just me.
Okay.
So when we get finished, I would be happy to make the resolution, or someone else can make the resolution. But I think we need to take a stand, just like we did with carbon capture, of where this board feels. So we send a message to the rest of our boards that are out there, the other 39, as well as this one, that, we do not want to take anything of this nature lightly, and we do not want to hear that an individual is being disrespected and not having an opportunity to speak Whether it changes the outcome or not is one thing, but everyone should have an opportunity to speak. So I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay, thank you for that. I have. Okay, I have a question. In District 5, how many appointments? Who's the council person for District 5 and those representatives that appoint? Those board members in that district, which council persons?
There's
Yourself?
3 of us. It's Councilman Wascom, Councilwoman Sanford, and myself.
Okay, I want to hear your thoughts on that, please. Where do you stand?
I do not condone anybody that uses racial slurs. As a veteran myself, I have fought with every kind of individual, and we all stood together over in Afghanistan and did the thing that we were supposed to do, and that was protect everybody in this country and represent everybody in this country. And so I represent everybody in this country. I represent everybody in this community. And I do not condone any kind of racial slur that was said to about anybody or anything, and I will be the first person to correct it if it's done in front of me.
Thank
And
you,
that-
Ms. Aaron, and then Mr. Wascom. I want to hear your responses.
Yes, ma'am. So I need you to know that I am not silent. We are not, I am not silent, which is why I put you on the agenda. I feel like you need to be heard. You need to get your say. Thank you for coming to speak. I know what it's like to be on the other side of the microphone, of the desk. So, you know, I still am on the other side of the desk in many instances. I do not condone it. I do attend meetings and am actively involved and have tried to be since I came on to the council. And I just need you to know, I do not think that it is okay. I do not think it is professional. And
Thank you. And Mr. Wascom?
Thank you, Ms. Keller. I had the opportunity to speak with Pastor Reed. Absolutely, I think it's terrible that racial slurs would be used in this time in life in 2026. And when she brought this up to me, I told her I felt I knew that about the civil service. I knew there'd be a problem, and she asked me, you know, what things can we do? And I'd even mentioned to her, I said, you know, a resolution stating, like you said, exactly how we feel and how terrible it is, you know. And I think people misunderstand the use of the N-word because it's used so much on television and everywhere that people become numb to how hurtful it really is to people in our community that we love and value. So I'd mentioned to him that, you know, a resolution by this council, I think would be a good step, a good show of faith that if any elected official or anyone appointed by this board who serves in the Livingston Parish government or a board that we appoint, a resolution asking for immediate suspension until a thorough investigation can be done to determine whether it's true or not. And, you know, that when she first asked me about it, I said, you know, as far as a council, I think that's probably one of our best options. But to answer your question, I think it's a sin and a shame that words like that would be used in today's time.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? I'm putting you guys, 'cause I want to hear from everybody. I
Yeah.
asked for
Well,
those. I
so
didn't mean to call
I've got
anybody out.
I've got some people that want to speak, and I'm going to
I'm
allow
sorry.
them to speak.
All right, but I wanted to hear their responses
Yes,
because they
ma'am.
represent
We're
that
gonna-
district.
Yep.
You can stay right there if you'd like.
Yeah.
I have a
Councilman Sheridan's
question,
next.
and this is, I guess, mainly for the attorney. Could we, so we've had lots of boards come before us. If they're asking for a tax, they have to present a 5-year plan.
if they want to put a tax on the ballot, they come before us. So there's been many, War to Water has come to us. So we've had boards come to us and we've asked them questions. Would it be acceptable for us to ask them to come before the council and let us ask our questions as to what their decision was and why it was made?
I think in general, yes, but the thing you have to consider is just from a purely legal standpoint, if it's issues that came up in executive session, just like when you're in executive session, those things are in executive session because they're required by state law to be so.
So it's my understanding that they went to a board meeting and were kind of essentially, not, I don't want to use the word shook because I wasn't there, but a vote was made and then they were just kind of pushed out. Could we ultimately use this council meeting, not this one, but another one, as an opportunity for them not to direct questions to the board, but to just kind of say, this is our piece about it, this is what we feel, and then give us the opportunity as a council, who we only certain members appoint, to say, we want to know your thought process as to why you suspended him.
And that's what I was, in general, I don't think there's any prohibition against what you're suggesting. But when it comes to the questioning, just remember that if their answer to the question gets into that gray area where it was something that was discussed in their executive session, just like if it was something discussed in your executive session, that has to remain by law in executive session.
Well,
but doesn't mean you can't question
yeah,
it.
but
And I'm putting the cart before the horse because I don't know what's going to happen.
Sure. Well, it's my understanding that there was no executive session. I don't know, but
it was. They went into executive session. They did.
Okay. Well, then, yeah. So there's a legal boundary there that you just can't cross. I totally understand.
Sure.
But obviously, the action that they took is public. Everybody knows what it is.
Yeah. Oh, I don't. And like I said, I don't know of any prohibition from you questioning any.
Sure. And
board,
yeah.
right.
Okay. Well, that's all I needed to know.
Yeah.
And I think a bigger issue or concern, and it doesn't really involve, you guys per se, is that you guys have an attorney. The board, the chair of the board had an attorney speaking on their behalf, and we don't have an attorney to speak on our behalf. We are not legal minds. We're just concerned citizens. So I think that is a problem. And maybe that's our problem that we need to look into, because you guys have attorneys to hear your concerns and what should I say, what shouldn't I say, and so did they. But we didn't. We kind of at your mercy. As I would say in my congregation, Lord have mercy on us. I'm going to take my seat, y'all. I'm getting upset.
All right. Councilman Mangus.
First of all, ma'am, don't ever think that you're not important or because you're the reason we're here. There's no other reason. And when the young lady, the second young lady that spoke, and she said that she doesn't feel comfortable moving here or telling other people to move here, then we have failed. This is the fastest growing parish in the state, and we need to do something. Unfortunately, I don't know if we can do much in the way of a resolution or anything at this meeting tonight because of the laws of the agenda. But as far as your question, and I'm not a legal scholar, maybe Mr. Jarrow can help, and Ryan, Mr. Shavers was absolutely right when he said, could we do something? According to Section 208 of our Home Rule Charter, the parish council may make investigations into the affairs of the parish government and the related conduct of any parish official, officer, employee, department, office, or agency. For this purpose, the council may subpoena witnesses, administer oaths, take testimony. I can go on, but it's there. So Mr. Wascom's right. I think that there's something that we can do. We can't micromanage a fire board, but you should never feel disrespected or second-class citizen. Anybody, whether you're a registered voter or you voted for us or against us, is irrelevant. So I just wanted you to know that that's on my heart. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Goff.
Mr. Mangus is absolutely right. That is a tool for us to do investigation and dig into, like, okay, I'm gonna look at the minutes. Now we can go a little further, like Mr. Ryan said. The problem comes in is just like our attorney said, is like when you go to trying to change and tweak it. But we can use those things as a tool to get to the bottom of the dirty dinny, you know, we can get down to it and figure it out. So what I would like to do, I'm going to make that resolution, but what I would like to do is also ask the attorney, I feel that we should be able to do this. Mr. Wascom helped me out to make sure. I believe that we should be able to draft an ordinance for all of our board meetings, members, that if there is a racial or discrimination type decision that is made, that it has to be ratified by this board. For example, if these individuals go and they go to this meeting and they have action that is taken, that action is not finalized until this board finalizes it. If we do that in an ordinance form and it's consistent throughout, I think that's a little bit more than just a resolution. It's putting our money where our mouth is, so to speak.
And Councilman, believe me, if I would have known that I was going to be asked that question, I would have researched it ahead of time. My initial gut reaction is, the answer to your question is probably yes, but I don't want to state that emphatically without taking a look at it.
Well, I'm going to be making a motion that you look into that and give us an answer next week.
It's a moral turpitude clause. Many contracts
Councilman
don't
Mangus,
have that.
I'm going to need you to request a
So we'll do the resolution, but also Mr. Taylor's going to ask our attorney to dig into the fact that where it's not left, a decision of this magnitude is not left to an individual board that may or may not have influences in any or whatever direction. It becomes our final decision as a 9-member board that are voted in by the people. And in that way, we have another check and balance in the situation in this, because this is a serious issue. And we have come a long way as a parish for us to go backwards. We need to keep going forward. And I commend y'all for coming up. I commend the council and everyone for digesting this and trying to come up with positive solutions to continue us moving in a positive direction. I never, ever want anyone to feel beneath themselves or feel that they are not being protected by any firefighter or fireman or police officer or anything in this parish. So,
thank you. Councilman Coates? Councilman Erdy. Thank you, Councilman Coates.
Yes. This is not about how well you perform your job or how tall you are, how short you are, how wide you are. This has got nothing to do with your attending meetings or performance of your work. This is about language and derogatory slurs and things like that. And so I don't condone any of that. I never will. And I know the board here, I think, kind of agrees with everybody up and down this line that we're going to have to consider looking into a resolution, and we need to consider doing it like now, not push it down the railroad tracks and 6 months from now start talking about it. After tonight, we need to start setting up things, whether it's forming a look into committee or all of us getting back together as one. But we don't want this, folks, and never want to see it again. Any kind of derogatory language is not good for nobody sitting in this room. And I want to say that. Thank y'all.
Councilman Coates?
I'd like to take an opportunity to apologize to y'all for what y'all felt in that meeting. It was wrong. It should have been done. And I'm apologizing from where I sit for that conduct. no one should feel that way, just as Mr. Hardy just said. And I agree with Councilman Goff's position on trying to write a resolution. All those were great ideas. But I know that all the talk is just talk to y'all at this point. Because until you see action, it's just talk. And I apologize for that as well. But just be assured that we will do what we can do as a council to try to give you some answers.
All right, Councilman Goff, you said you wanted to make a resolution?
Yes, I'd like to make a resolution that on this day that the council voted, that we will condone no racial slurs or anything of disrespect from any one of our boards that we appoint, and that we hold them at a high standard, an even higher standard than we are here for. And if anyone wants to add anything to that, please feel free. But basically, I just want to make sure that these boards understand that respect is a big word from my standpoint. And if anyone goes into any one of these members' meetings, then they should get that respect and be allowed to have their say. But at the same time, if any conduct is being looked at by a board, that they take it at the utmost highest seriousness, and do their due diligence. And then I would also ask Mr. Taylor to instruct the attorney to dig into the fact of the ordinance, to research the ordinance and get back to us this coming month so where we can introduce an ordinance to Mr. Dean's comments. We need to do something. So I think we have absolute right to have that caveat in there for any of our committees, that if there's an action of this nature that comes in front of them, that it should be ratified or come to this board with their conclusions for us to make the final decision. Puts a lot of burden on us, but it's something that needs to be. So I make that a resolution. I don't know if as always, I just start talking.
Yep, and Councilman Shavers.
I just want to say one quick thing. If a board member made comments like that and it got to the council, that's grounds for the council member to remove them from the board. That's racial discrimination. So I think I'm not telling what the board what to do, but I just know from our standpoint, and I'm pretty sure everybody up here can agree, if one of your board members made one of those comments, you would pull them off immediately. So I just want to say that just for the record.
All right, Councilwoman Sanford.
Attorney, can we make a resolution to remove the chief that used that?
That's how we started this whole
No,
conversation. No.
It's just, so resolutions are just the desire of the council or the wish of the council. They're not.
You can make a resolution requesting that the board do that, the fire district board do that, but it's not an appeal process.
Right, it's
You're
just a
ordering them to do it.
resolution.
It's a request made by the council.
It's a request.
You can make that request to them via a resolution.
Okay, we can make that request
As a resolution.
as a resolution. So we can make a resolution that make a resolution
Requesting that the
requesting
fire district board,
that he be,
that they.
maybe better
take that
verbiage than fired, more,
Right.
removed from his position.
You dabble into civil service, and there's a whole lot of caveats there.
Yeah.
And that's what the problem is the
Civil
only thing you might
service.
can do is ask them to reconsider or ask them to revisit the decision or the vote. Ask that board to do it. And I had a conversation with some constituents before about that, like with the civil service, what is your latitude after a board has taken in their all of this stuff and they've taken act? I don't know what the answer to that is. I really don't. I know civil service and the Fireman's Bill of Rights and the Police Officers' Bill of Rights, they have a whole lot of rights
Yeah.
that have to be checked and balanced, and then to go back and change a decision could be,
But the
board, that
a
fire board,
resolution
that's what
from the
they have to
council is
do.
just a request.
It's just a request. And what Mr. Goff's correct in that it's not meant to be, I think someone said a loophole. This is state law with regard to the police and the fighters' Bill of Rights. This is state law, not anything that this council enacted. It's a whole animal in and of itself. And as far as ordering them to do something, that's why it could at most be a resolution just requesting that they reconsider. You can't order them to be in violation of something or order them to do something that they have control over, but you can request that they do it.
Okay,
And
okay.
then
So
whenever
make a
they-
substitute motion to,
And then when they do, like, what is their latitude to actually make a change, because they've already handed down?
well,
I don't know.
they're just gonna have,
I don't know.
they're gonna have to work that out with civil service and how all that works, but we're just making a request.
All right, Councilman Wascom.
Yeah, I don't know if, I'm not sure if that would work. I mean, it may, but what it doesn't do is fix it from happening again. And so I think a resolution asking the ordinance committee to draft an ordinance, which is a law, punishable by fines or whatever, and I'd like to add to that resolution, Mr. Goss, to send this to the ordinance committee next time they meet, to draft an ordinance that refers to anyone in this parish using racial slurs that would be harmful, like has been to the constituents that are in this parish, that we draft an ordinance. So if this happens again, before the board can make a decision, it comes to the elected people that represent the constituents, and they have a true voice in the disciplinary action. So if you could put that in that form of resolution.
I'll make that substitute motion, or I'll second your substitute motion, if that's
All right.
what that is.
So we go. Was that a substitute motion?
If y'all good with that, I'll
All right,
put that in the
that's a
form of a
substitute
substitute
motion.
motion.
And you said you got you're seconding it? Okay.
100%.
And as the chair of the ordinance committee, I would absolutely welcome that and we'll let you know when we're having that, and we would love for you to attend, and we'll hammer that out. I think it's very important. The fact that what Mr. Goff was saying earlier is, if we make this just specific to one board, what happens if it happens? It needs to be all-encompassing, parish-wide. So I think that's right and just.
All right, so we got a motion and a second.
What is the motion?
The motion was to,
I think the motion was to, as a board, admit or resolve that we do not condone this behavior, is what Mr. Goff's was, and that we would send to the ordinance committee to draft an ordinance, not just regarding fire districts, but every board in this parish that we appoint, to draft an ordinance to address this problem. Is
that if this problem happens, it has to come to this council before they take any action.
That has to come to this council, who is elected by the constituents, so that everyone here in this parish has a voice before the disciplinary action can be rendered.
So we're
All right.
not sending anything to the fire district?
Okay, wait a minute. Hang on a minute. I don't think that's what they're asking for today. So I make a substitute motion.
You can't make a substitute motion on a substitute motion. That was his substitute motion.
Wait a minute. What happened to the substitute motion to relieve the chief from his duty as chief?
You never made a substitute motion. You asked if we could, and then he came up with another substitute
So
motion.
can you include that in your substitute motion?
So, what do you want to do? What do you
That
want?
we request that they would relieve the chief of his duties as their fire chief.
Didn't the attorney just tell you couldn't do that?
We can make the resolution to do it. He said we could. It's a request.
That though, you had worded it was that everybody had agreed was to reconsider.
To reconsider,
decision,
that's
yeah.
fine, yeah.
reconsider their disciplinary action of suspended. That's what our,
I
that's
don't-
what needs to be added.
I don't think you can ask a board to reconsider an action on a civil service board, right?
I don't think that they can take that action because
I don't
of
think
civil
they can
service.
But we
take that.
can make a
But it doesn't,
request.
you could, you're not violating any laws by asking.
What about the reason that these people are here?
You asked me from a legal standpoint.
Yeah.
I'm not involved in the politics.
We,
end of it.
you know,
So does that fall back in the audience's hands to start with? I'm sorry.
here.
Okay, I got it now. Now, so the starting point after tonight will be the ordinance committee. Is that what we're saying? After tonight?
Is that what I'm understanding from everybody? I'm not sure what you're asking me.
I mean, is that our next possible move, the ordinance committee to draft?
There's no action that this council can take.
Not tonight.
Wait, no. What I'm saying, to order this fire district board to change the decision that they made, and that's because of legal reasons, not because of you're agreeing with the decision in any way.
And that's not what I'm asking you. After tonight, not try to take any action tonight, but when we have our next ordinance meeting, can we start taking the step forward, is what I'm asking.
Wow.
John?
When that discussion started, someone was going to ask me to do some research on the issue so that I can give you the correct answer, and
Okay.
I'll be glad to do that. I'm sure you'd rather wait a
Okay.
day or two and get the right answer.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, if you want to add that to it, that's fine. I understand that might, that they may or may not be legally required to do that.
Right, but it's
And
just.
you
a-
understand
it's a-
that,
it's
but
a
I mean, if you want to add
request.
that to my motion,
Yeah,
that's
I
fine.
do.
That's
Thank
fine.
you, thank you, Councilman Wascom.
Okay.
And to go on record and say, we don't condone this.
All right. Okay, we're gonna clarify this motion. The motion is for Councilman Wascom stated that we do not condone any racial slur across the parish on any board, any elected official, any official capacity, and that we're gonna
Send to the ordinance
send
committee.
to the ordinance committee to
Make a law.
make a law that states that any kind of action that at this magnitude has to come to the council first, to the elected officials, before any action is taken by that board. And Councilwoman Sanford also put in there to amend it as well, that to look into the board and to ask them to reconsider this disciplinary action.
To ask them via a resolution,
Yeah.
not an ordinance, but to be a
Yeah,
resolution.
via resolution. Okay, I think I got all that. I was trying to keep notes on it, and it got convoluted very quickly. Yeah, I'm gonna need a new piece of paper. All right, we have one more card.
Danielle Robinson.
Thank you for your patience.
Danielle Robinson, 110 Benton Street, Denham Springs, Louisiana. The first time that I was called in was when I was 14 years old at Denham Springs High School, because I didn't understand which door I should enter in to go get my lunch. That has stayed with me my entire life, and I'm 47 years old. Just because the word is used frequently does not mean that it is okay. And yes, we have become desensitized to a lot of things, but people sell drugs every day. People murder people every day. But there are laws in place that when they do such things, they are held accountable and there are consequences that follow. So just because that N-word is used every day does not make it okay for the fire chief to use it. And for the record, not all Black people use the word or. And I am saying the word because I want you to feel the impact. And I want you to understand how offensive it is. It's derogatory, it's demeaning, and it's disrespectful. And it should not be tolerated on any level. I raised my children to love everybody. I raised them to not call people outside of their names, because that is not who we are and that is not what we do. Regardless to the fact that I was impacted, regardless to the fact that I was hurt, regardless to the fact I choose to love and I choose to treat everyone with dignity and respect. I have worked for 25 years in state government. I am an exempt employee. I am protected by civil service. But there are rules in place that I must follow every day as a state employee. And if I do not follow those rules, I will be terminated. Had I gone to the Louisiana Department of Health and said, I would have been terminated immediately, because as a state employee and as a civil servant, I am held to a higher standard. And just as I am, the fire chief should be held to a higher standard. I have to take a code of ethics training every year. I have to take training when there's legislative sessions in place. I know what I can do and what I can't do. In 25 years, I have not violated those rules, and I am still gainfully employed. If I wake up tomorrow and decide to do something that is inappropriate, then I should be fired, regardless to me not doing it in 25 years. One time is all it takes. It is a root of bitterness, and for so long we have ignored the fact that racism is still alive and well in Livingston Parish. Every time I tell someone where I live, they tell me, I can't believe Black people live in Denham Springs. It happens. It is real. It is true. And if you do not take a stand, and if you do not hold yourselves accountable and hold the people that you put in place accountable, we are not going to grow as a people. There will be no unity, and our children will continue to grow up and move out of Denham Springs and go to other states. It is not right. And if a board is not functioning properly, if a board is inadequate and incompetent, then the board should be dismantled. Is the board, are they civil servants? Are they employees of civil service? Or is the fire chief a civil servant? Because if the board, are they paid? Is it voluntary? You should be held, and the offense, the consequence should match the offense. And in this case, and in this instance, it does not. And what you are saying to my children is that you do not care about them, and they are nothing but, and you expect nothing from them, and you care nothing about them. If you sit by idle and do nothing, you are saying to every Black person that lives in Livingston Parish that you are a and I care nothing about you. And in the motion that you are making, that you say that they should come before you, if they are doing something, it should not be limited to racial slurs. It should be limited to it go to misconduct. Extended. This is beyond racial.
Well, we'll have an ordinance committee to write that ordinance. Would you be willing to come and help us write that ordinance?
I will help you. I will. And there needs to be extensive research. And no offense to you, Mr. Attorney, but the attorney needs to work to protect the people of this community and the people that you serve and the people that elected you to sit where you sit, not the fire chief. That is who needs to be protected. And that is who we need to be working for. And I will come to the meeting. I'm sure I'll be in a better spirit and I will be calmer. but I will help you, because in helping you, I am helping the people of this parish.
Thank you, 100%.
Thank you. All right, so we got a motion, we got a second. Cast your vote. Just in the, yes. Do you have it,
I think we need to separate it,
no,
Attorney.
just go, read it for us, please.
All right, this is what I have typed.
Yep.
That the council does not condone racial slurs or any disrespect from any boards, and that you would like to send this to the ordinance committee to write an ordinance to make any action related to racial slurs to come to the council before.
No, just, let's say misconduct, take racial slur out.
So, let's see.
She's going to help us write it.
Yeah,
Write
we're
an
gonna-
ordinance, write a,
Okay, well,
I think
okay.
we need to separate the ordinance
hold-
and the resolution. We need to separate it.
there's no ordinance.
There is no
being made.
ordinance, though.
It's an ordinance, it's going to the ordinance committee. Finish reading it, please.
okay. Send to the ordinance committee to write an ordinance that any action taken by, any misconduct, any action taken by the fire boards or any boards, is it any boards?
Any boards?
Any boards. Right, of misconduct come before the council, before the final decision, disciplinary decision is made. And that asking the District 5 Fire Board to reconsider their disciplinary action of the fire chief.
All right, thank you. That's a motion, we got a second. Vote on your computer. All right, that passed unanimously.
As a caveat, in while it's in my brain for the ordinance, I will try my best to be there, but I would like to also have it discussed about automatic termination. In other words, if it's found to be true that there's no questions about, like Ryan said, there's no questions about this board, it's automatic termination. Just like the lady when she came up here, we all have taken this ethics board meeting rules and all that stuff. So if we could put that into that ordinance part of it as well. All right, sorry.
Yep. All right. Number 10, Parish President's Report. Adopt a resolution to authorize the Parish President to execute a contract between Livingston Parish Council and Victory and Christ of Springfield to distribute, use Louisiana local government opioid litigation funds to provide for opioid remediation for the Albany Police Department. Miss Sandy.
Mr. Glenn Lemoyne brought it to our attention that this was not, so we added it to the addendum.
Oh, we added it to the addendum, so
It's
go
was
to
worded
the
correctly
addendum.
on the addendum.
All right, so all right, A1, adopt a resolution to authorize the parish president to execute a contract between Livingston Parish Council and Albany Police Department to distribute and use Louisiana state local government opioid litigation funds to provide for opioid remediation for Albany Police Department. Glenn Lonnie. Okay. Lee Meyer. I butchered your last name. I'm sorry. State your name and address.
Glenn Lemoyne, opioid director with Livingston Parish Government.
Okay.
So the Albany Police Department has came to us with a proposal to engage in a contract with opioid. It's actually a CEA, not a contract. It's a governmental agency. So it'd be a CEA.
Yep, cooperative endeavor.
Yes, sir. So what they're wanting to do is they're asking for funding to partner with the Albany Youth and Springfield Youth Association to have like a multi-day summer camp for football. It's going to involve approximately 400 kids, along with parents and the guardians, to attend toward drug education and prevention.
All right. Is there a motion? Got a motion by Councilman Mangus. Second? Second by Councilman Watts. Wascom.
Unless Lonnie beat me to it, I wouldn't.
I looked at you and you just look so handsome today. Okay, Wascom. All right. Go ahead and vote. Yep, I gotta be quicker. Oh, Councilman Coates? Absent? All right. That passed unanimous with one absent, Councilman Coates being absent. All right.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. Number 10, adopt a resolution authorize the parish president to execute, nope, that already did that one, just did that one. 11, Livingston Parish Grants Department, adopt a resolution appointing All South Consulting Engineering LLC as the labor compliance officer for the Livingston Parish Flood Risk Reduction Drainage Project B Fund by the State of Louisiana Community Development Block Grant Mitigation Program. You are very pretty, Miss Heather Crane.
Thank you.
Mr. McMorris,
So,
Chief Financial Officer.
so many other grants do require that the contractor follows something called Davis-Bacon Act, which deals with wages and how people are paid. And so these two that's coming up will qualify us. All South will actually verify the wages and that they are accurate and things like that for the grant, and that will be reimbursed by the grant. And then our EEO HR coordinator will handle additional part of that.
All right. Is there a motion? Motion by Councilman Watts. The right, Mr. Watts. Second by Councilman Goff. Go ahead and vote.
Uh-oh, what did I do? Okay.
All right, that passed unanimous.
Mr.
B,
Chair.
adopt a resolution appointing Miss Alyssa Averett. I was going to get it right this time. I know that one. Miss Alyssa Averett, Parish HR coordinator, to have the responsibilities for maintaining all parented EEO functions of part of the requirements by the State of Louisiana Community Development Block Grant Mitigation Program. Ms. Heather Crane.
I'll make that motion.
Got a motion by Councilman Wascom, second by Councilman Mangus. Vote. That passed unanimous. All right. B, zoning, Livingston Parish Zoning Commission, case number 26-34, 27600 George White Road, parcel number 0174334, C1 to R2. This is in Council District 9. It came with approval from our recommendation to approve from the Planning Department. Do we have a motion? A motion by Councilman Wascom, second.
No, it's in mine.
You got a second?
I'm good with it.
All right, got a second by Councilman Erdy. Vote on your iPad. Please. Oh, that passed unanimously, 9-0. All right.
12B, case number 26-35, Red Loop Road, parcel number 0162305, small neighborhood business to R1 in Council District 8, and the recommendation from the Planning and Zoning Commission is to approve it.
And I should have did this beforehand. Is anybody here to speak for either one of these agenda items? I'm going to open the floor for both of them. Nope? Okay. Got a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Got a motion by Councilman Coates. Second by Councilman Shavers. Go ahead, vote. That passed unanimous. All right, introduction of an ordinance. Miss Sandy, you want to read that by title?
Okay. This is agenda item number 13.
Yes.
It is proposed ordinance 26-12. It's an ordinance setting the millage rates for the tax year 2026, and the public hearing will be held on Thursday, June 11th at 6 p.m.
Thank you. Can you read number 13 as well as an introduction? 14.
This will be proposed ordinance number 26-13. It's an ordinance amending compensation of council members as per section 2-05, Part B of the Home Rule Charter and Louisiana Revised Statute 33:1230. And the public hearing will be held on June the 25th at 6 p.m. because we have to account for publishing in the official journal twice.
We have to account for
And
publishing in official journal twice. Thank you. All right. Adopt a resolution to accept Mayberry Lane located off of LA Highway 63 into Council District 8 into the parish maintenance system. That's being deferred by Councilman Coates. Are you good with that deferred, Councilman Coates?
Yes, sir.
All right. 17. We already did 17? Yep. No. No. We did 16. Yeah, we already did 16. 17, adopt a resolution to authorize a waiver of section 125-37-4 requirements for minor subdivision for number of lots on a private servitude located off of LA Highway 1032 Forge Club Road and Council District 5 for Michael Edwards. Councilman Goff.
Yes, I know we have a lot of people in the audience, and I've met a lot of them. So, as I stated to them, as I stated to Ms. Sanford, one of the biggest questions I get, why am I in the middle of this? I was elected as a Livingston Parish council member, and I represent everybody, but the 16,000 is what votes me in. But as we discussed earlier, we all have to weigh in on decisions as individuals. So that being said, when I looked at this plat and the entrance being on the north side, it just did not. I'm sorry? Oh, I thought you had a question. So the plat with the entrance on the north side just created some issues from my standpoint as far as safety, having two gravel roads that close together, going out onto 4-H Club Road. Also, the future with all those homes, some of them being facing one way and some of them being facing. Tonight, we literally are deciding if we want to face the houses north or face the houses south. And I know no one believes me, but I'm fine with whatever way it comes because I know I've done everything I could do. I've knocked on the doors. I visit with everybody, try to answer as many questions as I could to protect everyone. So tonight is to keep it as a private servitude. And so there's 6 lots. So right now the drive goes across those 6 lots. You can see it in front of you. Goes across those 6 lots, or which was before was 12 acres, to get to the back 5 houses. And everyone's been using that entrance in and out, no problem, including the individual that owns the 12 acres. He has since subdivided that out. It has already been approved for the entrance on the north side. So the property is going to be divided and it's going to be homes built there. So I just believe in my heart that we can do a better job with a finished product, having a private, still keeping it as a private drive. It's 60 feet. One of the individuals did not want another neighborhood to be able to tie into it, so I was successful in having them put an additional 5 foot on the south side that would remain always a private, little walking path, if you will. So that being said, the same houses that were in the back, whenever that got subdivided years ago and bought and was able to use this entrance, we're just simply asking for the same thing for the ones that are coming in there now. It's for them to be able to use that same driveway. So in the deed and everything, whenever it's sold, the rights are being given to these individuals to use that driveway just like it was in the back, as I understand it. So I believe in my heart this is the right thing to do. Whatever this council decides, I'm perfectly fine with. I'm going to move on. But, you know, it's one of those things where I go here and I go here and I go here. Well, tonight, everybody's in a room together, and Ricky's not the one making the decision, but I'm bringing it to the forefront that I believe this is the right thing to do, is to do the waiver for the number of lots on a servitude, just like we've done the last couple meetings. And then it also puts us in a position that we have 60 foot of right-of-way with a turnaround at the very last lot. And then the remaining lots in the back stay with a 30-foot servitude. We're down the road. If everybody agrees and wants to make it a Class D road and the parish start maintenance in it, we have the right-of-way and we have the things that we need to do so, including the 5-foot buffer on the south side to keep someone from tying into it. So at the end of the day, the lots are going to be cleared, houses going to be built. Which way will they face? The people that build there will absolutely have the right to use that road in and out, but their front house has to face north if it is turned down tonight. So anybody has any questions? If not, I just simply make a motion that we grant the waiver of number of lots on a servitude.
That's a motion. Do you want to make the motion?
Yep, make a motion to
All right.
grant those, make the motion to grant the waiver for the number of lots on a servitude with the plat that's shown with the 60-foot, the 5-foot, and the turnaround.
All right, so there's a motion. Is there a second?
So what happens if there's no second, there's no action, and it fails?
The motion fails.
So
So
just so everyone knows, that's kind of the action.
we have no second. That motion has failed. I have 11 people that would like to speak on this item. Or I got 11 cards. Who actually wants to speak?
Can I make a motion? Can I make a sub-motion?
But the action is over.
It failed. All right, so I did this once before. I'm going to allow the people that want to speak on this action, on this thing, line up at the podium. So raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Y'all go ahead and line up just kind of behind her and state your name, and we'll give you your name and address, and we'll go from there.
Leslie Mitchell, Leslie Burks Mitchell. I am at 25770 LA Highway 1032. When all this was first done, me and my daddy and Mr. Jordan developed that, our 4 acres, 5 acres back there. Mr. Jordan is the one that approached us and wanted to make it a private servitude. And of course, we're not going to turn that down. He wanted to make, because he had 3 lots also plotted out. So he wanted to make that a private servitude for us. But the only thing he wanted was to name the road, Noblet Drive. So that's the whole reason why we have a private servitude. I would like to know what the parish approved the north end of the drive. So am I wrong to saying that there's a new plat that was approved?
But
I don't know.
He'll answer the question after your time has elapsed. Well, if you have any questions, he'll answer it, okay?
Yeah. So that's, in the beginning, when the man owned the lot, the land, and he wanted to subdivide it, he took out the restrictions that was on the land, that was on the lots that Mr. Jordan created. Okay. He kept when me and Daddy and Mr. Jordan got together and we made the restrictions. He wanted to do away with the restrictions. The no re-subdividing it. It didn't have a minute. He wanted to do it away completely with the restrictions. We had to bring him to court and put a stop on it because he can't amend restrictions by himself. And that's what he did. So we put a stop to the restrictions. So what I'm kind of saying is, if he'd have just worked with us in the beginning, we would not be here. That's just what I'm saying.
Yes, ma'am.
He's young and piss and vinegar.
Hey.
That's all I got to say.
Hey, thank you. I think I can answer that question. It was more of and this is the gist that I got from it was, instead of having two driveways so far apart, gravel driveways so far apart on 4-H Club Road, just having one. And that's just kind of that's what I understand from it, okay? And that's answering your question. I don't know, I don't have another map showing the driveways going on this side. I'm just answering your question. That was my understanding. So, Mr. Brian Clemens.
Brian Clemens, 34348 Robbie Lee.
Is that sad that I can tell you your address?
I've given it to you often enough.
Often enough, sir.
I'm wearing two hats right now.
You gotta choose one.
I'm going to wear them both. First of all, citizen. Procedurally, it concerns me. I want to see the council person that I elect bring forth the motions for my district. Mr. Goff, I'm sorry, I don't agree with that being parish-wide. I think when you 15 or 16,000 people elect you, they have every right to hold you accountable. But at the same time, those 15 or 16,000 people in Mr. Shaver's district did not elect you, and they expect to have him represent them. And that's a procedural issue. The other issue is the hat I really wear, the Planning and Zoning Commissioner. I'm on the Planning and Zoning Commission, as y'all are aware. We've been getting these waiver requests coming to us, and we run it through first, and then we make recommendations. And I'm concerned this one didn't come to us in this case. I would prefer to see that continued. Thank you.
All right. State your name and address, sir.
Kenley Brown, 25768 LA Highway 1032. Ricky Goff came to my home, as well as other homes, several in my neighbors, on at least 2 separate occasions regarding this matter. During the first visit, he was extremely aggressive and confrontational in his tone and conduct. At one point, I questioned why he was at my home after he clearly stated he was not my district representative. He told me to just shut up and listen, and I would find out. He further stated that my representative, Aaron, had asked him to come speak with us regarding this issue. Both my wife and I found his behavior disrespectful and condescending, entirely inappropriate. This is my formal objection to any proposal, approval, modification, servitude, expansion, roadway dedication, or other action that would other existing provide driveway servitude arrangements affecting our properties located on 4-H Club Road. The residents and property owners along this private drive have owned, used, maintained the roadway for well over 15 years, with the clear understanding and reasonable reliance that it would remain a private access road serving existing residents. During that time, and adjoining property owners have borne the responsibility and expenses of maintaining the roadway and related access areas without assistance from the current developer or out-of-state property owners now seeking additional rights. It is our position that the current situation appears to stem from a failure of the property owner and the developer to properly plan, research, and secure lawful access, utility corridors, and infrastructure requirements prior to subdividing the marketing and attempting to develop the subject property. The burden created by these decisions should not be shifted into our neighboring property owners who possess established property rights, existing servitudes, utility infrastructure, and long-standing use of private roadway. Additionally, there are substantial infrastructure and legal concerns that must be addressed before any further consideration of this matter. Existing drainage servitudes. This is an existing drainage pipe across 4-H Club Road that requires an approximately 20 feet servitude area. Any proposed roadway or access modification must account for any comply for existing servitude and any parish drainage requirements already in place. I have a lot more, but my time's up.
I'll give you 30 seconds. Can you get a little bit? I'll give you 30 more seconds. if you got an end portion where you want to wrap it up at. We don't, okay. We don't do that, but I can give you 30, 45 more seconds.
We've lived there for 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Most of my neighbors have been there for quite about time. Leslie, one of our very good friends, has been substantial. Her parents own that property. We bought that property because we had a nice, laid-back atmosphere. They're building 4,000 houses down the road from us on 4-H Club Road. One extra drive ain't going to change that. Ricky.
All right. Thank you, sir. State your name and address, please.
Summer Smith, 31210 Dan Pearson. I think basically people are they're tired of the waivers. And from my understanding that this gentleman does not even live in Louisiana, which is pretty terrible. Like, you've got to respect the community, and we really appreciate no more waivers, no more amendments. Enough's enough. Thank you.
Thank you. There you go.
Connie Brown,
State your address, please.
25768 LA Highway 1032, Denham Springs.
All right.
I spoke a lot of respect and how we should all conduct ourselves professionally. I heard something spoke of moral turpitude. This man showed none of it in my home, sitting at our dining room table. And when my husband just simply had questions, he couldn't get out of his own way or stop speaking long enough to hear what we had to say. And he specifically looked at my husband across the table and said, "If you would just shut up a minute, I'd let you know." And those were his words verbatim. And at that point, there was no talking to him anymore. He came back a second time. He tried to be a little humbler, a little meeker, but he just kept trying to push it down our throat, push it down our throat. And at one point, something was said to the effect that if it wasn't done by this body, that there were other ways to get around it. I don't know what that means, but that's what we were told. And I find it appalling that someone that is supposed to be a professional and was elected by your district, you came in there and tried to bully your way and bulldog your way through every one of us. Nothing was truthful. He said, he told every neighbor, "Oh, well, everybody agrees to it, so." And then he even also said that we asked when he did answer why our councilwoman was not speaking with us, that he specifically said she asked him to come talk to us. And I have found out since that she never asked you to come talk to us.
All right, I'm gonna give you 30.
all I have to say about it.
Okay, I was about to say I'm gonna give you 30 more
No,
seconds.
I'm good. I'm
Okay.
good.
Thank
But
you for.
I'm Wade Angelos. Address is 25766 Highway 1032. June of last year, our house burned down and lost everything except my family. So we searched all over Livingston Parish to try to find a place as safe as that place was, because we searched for it. And we found this house that we purchased down that lane. And we purchased it because there was no traffic. And we didn't have to worry about our kids in the road and stuff like that. I understand progress. I understand even if they want to do half the road, But ever since for sale signs have even showed up, the traffic has tripled, quadrupled down that road. It's also made holes in it worse than it was before, and we are having to pay for that. We're having to take care of that. If it's been approved for them to have it on the north side, you know, it's not having two driveways. That's their driveway. We got ours. It's private. Leave it alone. And that's just my feelings. Thank you.
I'll be very brief. We just had a long conversation about consequences for board members for their lack or their moral turpitude, or however y'all want to say it, conduct unbecoming. I think when the ordinance committee meets, they also need to include council members in that as well, instead of not just board members.
Leah Roberts. I live on 25780 Highway 1036. So, 32. So I didn't prepare a speech, and I could read a very well organized one by one of my neighbors. But when I did move down this road, it was described to me as a private drive. And you want to speak to us about safety, and there being two roads, and two roads distinctively not being more safe. So I live in a two-female household where the influx in traffic and my privacy creates safety for me. So putting a turnaround at the end of my driveway, which is directly adjacent to the land that's being subdivided and for sale, is in question for me. So you knocking on my door, and this new plot plan, which we haven't even seen, none of my neighbors have seen this new plot plan that you're describing to us. We've seen the original approved plot plan, which we did go to court about. And as my other neighbors stated, we dropped litigation due to it. We're not against progression and there being a subdivision, but there are restrictions in place, and there is a plot plan in place that needs to be adhered to. There are ordinances that need to be adhered to. So if you want to speak about safety, respect our privacy, respect our tranquility, our peace of mind. The road, there's additional hazards on 4-H Club Road that have nothing to do with an additional driveway coming out of it. How many driveways are on 4-H Club Road to start with? So adding one more is not going to change that. So I know that we've already dismissed this and there's not a second motion, but should this come up again, I would hope that we're going to be informed, because we weren't informed this time. You had no problem knocking on our door to announce to us that you want to do all of these things. But as far as this meeting's concerned, had my neighbor not sent out a mass text, I would have had no idea to show up here tonight, which is the only reason I'm speaking, because I'm not a public speaker. But you had nobody gave us an announcement, which you have no right to, right? But you had every right to come and knock on my door and address to me all of the safety concerns and all the things that this was going to benefit for me, but didn't give me the decency or respect to say, hey, we're going to bring this up in front of the board tonight. So should this come up in the future, I would hope that you guys at least give us that, you, Mr. Ricky Goff, give us at least that respect to let us know that this is going to be brought up on the board in the future. Because just because it failed this time doesn't mean you won't put it on the agenda next time.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
you.
you.
Guys.
And so, no, if you want to, you go ahead.
So when I look at this, council.
I need your name and address.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, it's
Tanya
okay.
Lazarus, 940 Maywood Drive. No, Denham Springs, Louisiana. I have a property in Pine Grove, and he's trying to be difficult tonight, as he always is.
If you know Mr. Lonnie, it's difficult.
As we've discussed, we don't have a lot of land left in Denham Springs where you can run your cows like it used to be. This parish is in your hands. And I don't have a dog in this fight other than a friend. But what I'm telling you is, when I look at this council, I see roots. I see deep roots. And there was somebody that sat in that seat prior to you that made sure you had a parish to be proud of, for people to want to move here. And if your roots don't dig deeper and make sure that you protect it for the next generation, shame on you. I watched the council for Denham Springs last night because we have a piece of property that we own on Florida Boulevard. And it's 19 acres. And they're trying to put a laydown yard out there. And we can't get people to understand that laydown yard is the better option for us. Progress is going to happen. But that laydown yard is better because you don't have to build it up, because you don't have an apartment complex coming in there, right? So we have to get strategic about this. You know, the trees, the oak trees, everything that we have, everything that we're proud of. And that is why I'm emotional about this. I grew up here. 55 years I have grown up here. A couple of us had a conversation. Who would have ever thought at Denham Springs High School that some of us would have been the ones standing up for this parish? They probably didn't think we would make it past Walmart.
And that is the biggest school in the state, just to let you know, high school.
And I'm proud of it. I'm proud to be from here. That's why I haven't went nowhere else. And I want my child to have that. You know, when we go somewhere, he says, how do you know everybody in Livingston Parish? I said, baby, I don't. I used to, but I don't know more.
I'm going to give you 30 more seconds, okay?
Okay. It's our parish. It's our home. And we have to protect this. And so I asked you, when you have a friend that asks for a favor and you step outside your district, which you should, because I've asked each of y'all that I talked to make sure you did your due diligence, to make sure you had your information, and make sure you make that vote count in the right way. Integrity is a big thing. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. If there's nobody else, I'm going to close the floor. As y'all heard before, I'm a councilman for this whole parish. Yes, I'm elected for District 3, but I am a councilman for this whole parish. And I have driven just like anybody else on this board or this council right here across parish or across district lines and met with anybody that called and said, hey, can you come out here and look at this? I was just at Miss Leslie's house. Oh, on, what's it? I've slept since then. Tuesday? Was it yesterday? Was that your house yesterday? Yeah. Okay. I've slept since then. I'm sorry. Also the 113 phone calls I had today. I represent everybody in this parish, just like everybody here represents everybody in this parish. I understand that people think that, or people feel as though, hey, you shouldn't cross boundary lines. We are representatives of this parish. We are a body of 9, not a body of 1. We are a body of 9, right? It takes 5 to get a yes, and it also takes 5 to get a no, and it takes a quiet stance to say we're not for it, as you saw, right? There was no second. So that's where I stand. I represent everybody in this parish, right? So if you call me and you're over in Lake Marpole and I go, 63 miles to your house from my house, right? Whenever I started this job, I had 93,000 miles on my truck. I have 267,000. That is 3 sets of tires. Okay, that's 2.5 years. And I will do it every single day. I shut my business down to go and meet with anybody and everybody who asked me to go do it. You know, you have to follow my schedule. I'm sorry, we are busy, just like everybody else here. We represent everybody, and I just want that to be heard. Okay. My board's lit up like Christmas trees, so we're going to go with the first one, Councilwoman Sanford.
Okay, so I want to make some clarification points. First of all, not one time did I ever say I supported this. Every single time it was brought up to me, I said I do not support this. So I don't know who took it up on themselves to say that, but I know that it did come from administration. My people told me that, and it came from a councilman, and that is not okay. I am a parish councilwoman. I do serve this parish. We have a gentleman's agreement. District 5, roughly just around 17,000 people elected me. I'm sure that you expected me to knock on your door, and I apologize that it happened the way that it did to you. I'm in this seat to protect Livingston Parish. And I think that I do a really good job of looking out for my district and my parish. Now, some clarification points on what exactly these plats are. So first, I want to make the point that Livingston Parish Gravity Drainage District 1 had on the first plat issued a letter of no objection, and then they saw the drainage servitude was not on the map. Mr. Edwards was told, this came from the director of gravity drainage this morning. Mr. Edwards was told that he could use his 60-foot servitude right-of-way for drainage servitude as well, so long as he put in a gravel road. He didn't have to give 80 feet. He only had to do his 60-foot right-of-way, and that gravity drainage would absolutely be able to maintain it so long as he put gravel down. Just to make that clarification, Era, because there's been misinformation out there, and I need it to clear up before we go any further. That first plat, that was approved in October, does not need a waiver, and can go on without even this happening here today. As it is now, the plat that's submitted, the new plat, is not approved by the parish, and it would be a significant change. The way I read it is that it is a significant change, and it would have to go back through the whole process again, and now it is no longer a minor resub. 6 or less is a minor resub. 7 and above is a subdivision with improvements, and that's a whole different animal. So I need to make that clarification error. And I want to know why this ended up on our agenda and not through P&Z first. Another point that needs to be considered that has not brought up yet, that has not been addressed yet. I have spoken with firefighters and a fire chief that serve Livingston Parish. Things that need to be considered, and this is a huge safety issue for first responders, and I've heard them talk about this many times. On this particular road, there is one way in and one way out. Adding more lots could have severe consequences. That's why 5 or less is allowed on a private servitude. It puts the residents at risk. There's no turnaround, no cul-de-sac. If there was a structural fire, water has to be trucked in, backed out. He has to back that fire engine all the way out to 4-H Club Road and truck water back in. So I'm giving you information for the future. Thank you all for coming tonight. I hope that you feel represented and heard and protected. And no, I never said that I supported this, not one time.
All right,
And I
Councilman
need to
Sher-
make a motion. I need to make a motion to deny.
Well, it never made it to the second, so it failed automatically.
Can I come back with another motion to deny?
We
I'll
never,
second that.
yeah, we never got a second so it just failed off of it. Yeah.
But it's on the agenda, and I don't want it to get brought back up.
I'll be happy to second your motion.
All right,
Thank
so you've got a motion to deny, second by Councilman Goff. Vote on your iPad.
May I ask a quick question? Yes, sir. If let's say we vote to not deny it, does that mean that it's legitimate? That's why it doesn't have the second. See, that's all I'm saying. I think it would get
This will
failed,
never come
but
back up for me. All right, so if we can just make the motion and the vote, and for the record, Mr. Aaron did never, ever say that she supported this. I don't know where that came from, but she's never said that she supported this.
Okay.
She has been vividly against it and not happy with me for moving forward with it. So I just want to make sure that's clear.
Thank you,
That was
Councilman
not-
Goff.
So
I
I'll second the
appreciate
motion.
Attorney.
Look, I think procedurally, because there was no second and there's nothing that was passed, the way that it's worded is adopt a resolution to authorize a waiver. There's no,
Yeah, I
there's
don't,
nothing left.
there's
Okay.
nothing
to
left. I
take
don't think
action on.
there's no action to take.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I just think
Okay,
procedurally.
okay.
it'd be
Clear,
incorrect.
can you clear the
Fair
board?
enough.
Thank you.
Does that mean that he can back up down the road?
Anything can come back up again, even if
Okay,
it gets a
I got it.
denial.
Can I make a resolution
You can put a
that it
resolution
not
on the
come
next.
back before the council for the
You can
same?
put a resolution on the next agenda.
I'll second
Okay.
that one as well.
Okay? Thank you. Hey, if y'all have emails, please write it on a piece of paper, or she will give you a piece of paper, and she will send you the agendas. Okay. Number 18. Adopt a resolution to authorize a waiver, section 125-176, definition that will allow the issuance of a third address in Council District 2 on the property owned by Cecily E. Wall Jr. located off, is that Cecil? Cecil E. Wall, located off at 9685 Huntersbrook Lane, Denham Springs, 70706. Councilman Shavers, all you, buddy.
Just a waiver for, he's got 9 acres. He's got a home on the 9 acres. He's also got a mobile home that's been there for years on that acreage. And he is asking for a waiver for his daughter to put a mobile home on that lot. And so,
Are you in support of that?
I cannot vote for it. But I support what he's doing. I just can't vote for it. And he knows that. He and I have already talked.
Okay. I'm gonna let you.
My name is Adrienne Bordelon. I live at 8489 Beechwood Drive. A resolution in conflict of an ordinance cannot stand, citing the Supreme Court of Louisiana in the James versus Rapides Parish Police Jury. A definition is a black letter law, and you cannot waive a black letter law. So what you're trying to do here is waive the definition under 125-176 that says the following words, terms, and phrases when used in this article shall, which means mandatory, have the meanings ascribed to them in this section. A mobile home park means more than one mobile home located on the same tract of land occupying space as required by this article. However, if a landowner makes application with the planning department and meets the requirement of the affidavit attached to the ordinance for which this article is derived and executed, then placement of one mobile home on the same tract of land, excluding the homestead, will be permitted by the planning department. The additional mobile home shall be occupied by a lineal descendant of the landowner. The landowner must divide to add any more mobile homes. Councilman Shaver just said this man has 9 acres. He needs to be dividing his property. Y'all do not need to be granting a waiver of a definition, which is a black letter law, and you are prohibited from doing so. And I repeat what I started with. A resolution in conflict of an ordinance cannot stand. Thank you.
So,
Councilman Mangus?
I'm asking this for everybody on the council and Mr. Jarrow. Didn't we have this with Mr. Cascio a couple months ago as far as, like, in the ordinances, we don't have anything for third addresses. That was a postal deal, and we talked about it. Do you remember?
If it was Mr. Cascio, obviously.
That was Mr. Cascio. This is.
Yes, but I'm asking the other 8. Remember that we went on that we granted a waiver, but there really is no waive. He looked through that whole 125.
I know what you're talking about. It was 2 home structures 2 stick-built houses, and then they wanted to put a mobile home. We didn't have something in place for that.
Okay.
All right.
Mr. Keene, can you say something?
If Mr. Keene wants to oblige us.
Scooter Keene, Planning Department. At this time, you don't have an ability to do that, but what they're asking for is in your UDC as a family petition, but they will still have to subdivide a half-acre out minimum to be able to do that.
All right, thank you, Mr. King.
Yeah, once it's adopted. Yeah, it's not adopted yet, so that's what the way it's written now.
Councilman Watts.
Livingston Parish is growing, and I don't understand everything I need to know about trying to stop everything, because the fact is, what you gonna do with the 1,700? Anybody know? Ma'am, what you gonna do with the 1,700? That's 1,700 kids graduated from this parish this year. You want them to move off? I'm asking, do you want your kid to move off, or would you love for them to move to Livingston Parish? I mean, all I'm hearing is negativity about growth. I mean, we got 1,700 kids a year.
I understand
A
that,
year.
sir. I understand that, but
But where you want them to go?
This council has also put in zoning and regulations, and you, as the body, are obligated to follow the law that has been adopted by this council, and that is my point.
So
is
you want
that
your kids to move off is basically what you're saying.
My children have already moved off,
You know?
sir.
Well, you're one of the fortunate ones. Not everybody's that fortunate. 1,700 a year, probably more. Denham Springs, Live Oak, and Walker graduate over 500 apiece. So what are you going to do with them?
All I'm saying, sir,
I'm asking the
follow
whole
the
audience.
law.
I'd be
The law
glad
that
to know
you
what you going to do
adopted.
with them.
Follow the law.
Follow the law.
Follow the law.
Well, look,
Councilman Watts. I'm going to ask you to
A
start the
man
frame.
can
All right.
move to subdivide his property. The man, under the law, can move to subdivide his property. He can go to planning and zoning and request to subdivide. He can do that now. He can do that today. That's following the law. And that's all I'm asking,
So
is that this
Hold up,
council follow the
Councilman
law.
Shavers. Hold up. I'm going to give everybody the right to speak.
I'm
All right, I understand. Thank you. Councilman Shavers.
Ma'am, do you mind staying there? So, and I'm assuming you're an attorney or, okay. So is it illegal to grant waivers?
In my personal opinion, my legal opinion, no, I don't think this council has the authority to grant waivers. There are certain limited reasons for which you can grant variances, and depending on what circumstances, most of those need to go through planning and zoning, not straightly to this council.
So yes, my constituent can subdivide his property.
His property is an R1 with 9 acres. Sure, he could subdivide.
Yeah, he has no problem with that. But the mobile home is going to be temporary. There's no sense in me forcing him to go pay $2,000 to subdivide his property while his daughter builds a home. Look, there's people in this parish that we have to help. There is laws. I agree that we have to follow. But I'm not going to put my constituent out there. I don't know his financial situation. I'm not going to make him pay $2,000 for his daughter's mobile home to sit on the property for maybe 6 months to a year. That is ridiculous. And so if I can grant them a waiver and save them $2,000 while his daughter builds a home, I can't support it for reasons of, and I'll explain that later. But he's not doing anything wrong. If you came to me and asked for the same thing, I would do it. But, the reason why I can't support the waiver is the same reason you came up here when the whole waiver for the trailer and the name subdivision was here.
Sure.
I
Which
voted that
y'all
one down,
failed
but
to
you were
follow the
okay
law.
with that. You were okay with that waiver.
No, I was not okay with that waiver.
But you were okay with me rejecting it.
Well, sure.
Sure.
Because you followed the law.
Regardless, your interpretation of the law is different than mine. If I can grant my constituent a waiver and save him $2,000 to put a mobile home on his 9 acres temporarily, I'm going to do it. Because that's my constituent, that's who I represent. And if it fails tonight, it fails tonight. If it passes tonight, it passes. But he knows at the end of the day, he can't move forward without a waiver or subdividing. So that's what we're going to do tonight.
I'm just saying that.
I appreciate your
I have
opinion,
been here
but you came up here
for
and you
almost
quoted
a
the law
year.
as if
did.
I was doing something illegal or this council is doing something illegal, and you're wrong.
No, I'm
All
citing
right,
the
we're
Supreme
not
Court
gonna-
of Louisiana.
All right, we're not going to go.
I make a motion.
Conflict of an ordinance
I can't make a
cannot
motion.
stand.
Somebody make a motion.
We still got one more. Councilman Goff.
So this is a perfect example of the UDC code and the family petition. It'll solve a lot of this problems. And it'll allow that individual to do a family petition and not have to expend the money. And it'll fall in there, but we gotta get the UDC in place. But I know it's frustration right now, but a lot of this is gonna go away. You know, to Lonnie's thing, that's exactly what a family petition is for, is to allow the individuals that are here to take care of their family members and not have to go through, like you said, all that expense, so.
Well, I do
All right,
know he
there's a-
came here tonight with the hopes of getting this thing passed so his daughter can move forward and build a home just like anybody in Livingston Parish would want to do. And I think it would be not good upon us if we don't give it to him. I mean, again, it's y'all's decision, but the guy's not asking for anything crazy. Again, I can't support it because I rejected one months ago for the exact same reason. I can't support it, but I wish you guys would consider it because, again, he's not doing anything crazy.
All right. Is there a motion? Yes, sir.
Would you be comfortable putting a time limit on it so we'd know in the planning department, 6 months, a year, 18 months?
Can I talk, because my constituent is here and I don't want to have that conversation openly. Can we move on to another agenda item and let me go talk to him?
Is it all, actually, I would like somebody to make a motion so we can take a brief recess for 3 minutes.
Yes, I'll make that motion.
All right, got a motion. Second? Second. Good. Motion by Councilman Mangus, second by Councilman Sanford. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Channel 17, proudly serving the Florida parishes.
All right. I need a motion to bring us back in from recess. Got a motion by Councilman Shavers, second by Councilwoman Sanford. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? No opposed. All right. Mr. Mangus is not here. He is absent at this point.
I
Okay.
make a motion to approve the waiver.
You make a, Councilman Shavers makes a motion to approve the waiver. No time frame added to it. Is there a second? Second by Councilman Watts. Vote.
I get it. I understand.
Oh, wait. Where's Councilman Mangus? Did you tell him? Huh? Ooh. Just vote for it. Just gotta vote for it. All right, that motion failed. The yeses were Councilman Watts, Councilman Taylor, Councilman Wascom. Right?
Yes, you can. You can make a motion and still vote opposite. Look, let me say this. I mean, I've had this come up before in the past. If you make a motion, sometimes you can make a motion just to call for the vote and still vote no. It's my understanding. Now, Mr. Algero, you tell me if I'm wrong, but make...
Get John Mangus to vote.
Oh.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wascom, but I tend to agree with.
You disagree with me?
I tend to disagree with.
Councilman Mangus, would you like to make a motion to be able to vote for this?
Yes, I would
All
like
right.
to make a motion to vote.
Hey, we got a, Councilman Mangus just wants to vote on this. He wants to bring this issue back up. Councilman Mangus, there's a motion, second by Councilman Shavers. Call for the vote. Hold on. That's still going to go on the record. We made a vote, but you weren't here to vote.
If anybody who lost, according to parliamentary procedure, correct me if I'm wrong, if you lost, you can bring it back up, right?
I don't know if I could do that. Okay. Well, he wasn't here to vote. he was absent, so can he make a consideration?
One of the,
Has to be a failing? All right,
Right.
then, sorry. All right, that motion failed.
Sorry.
Bring it back up to where it was at? Yep. No, because
I apologize.
yeah, read the vote. All right, myself, Councilman Wascom, and Councilman Watts voted for it. Councilman Goff, Councilwoman Sanford, Councilman Erdy, Councilman Shavers, and Councilman Coates all voted no.
Wait, I have a question.
Are you abstain, right? Are you voting no?
No, but
Okay.
if I made the motion and voted no, is my vote even valid?
That's the attorney question. If you put the motion in place, you can't vote no.
you can't vote no, but I don't know that it invalidates the,
Okay.
yeah.
I think it's just in bad form, right? It's not.
Let me ask this question.
It's not law. It's just the rule.
Procedural rules,
If
right.
one of the members wants to reconsider the vote but does not change their vote, can we do that?
Let's pull up Robert's rules and all look at it at the same time. No,
All right. Yes, under parliamentary procedures, like Robert's Rule of Order, you can vote no on a motion you made.
Yeah.
Things could have changed during the debate.
And these
They
are
changed your
rules.
mind.
Exactly, yeah.
Robert's rules of procedural order, right. How the voting should proceed.
So, all right, look,
So I was right.
guys,
You was right.
waiting on you.
I
Oh,
can
okay.
give you the correct answers. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
And of course, no Wi-Fi. I'm sorry, I'm waiting for it to come up.
You can bring it back up. though.
The vote was, I heard one of y'all ask, the vote was 3-5.
I was pulling it up right here.
Yes, sir.
So,
Under Robert's rules, I was incorrect. I apologize to Mr. Wascom.
Would you repeat that one more time? I
apologize
just
to
want to
Mr.
make
Wascom.
sure.
Oh,
I'm not an attorney nor the son of an attorney, but
I would like to apologize to Mr. Wascom on the record. You may vote, even if you make a motion, you are authorized to vote against it under Robert's rules.
so you can vote no.
So you can vote no.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we can't reconsider it.
If you were,
That's what that was the question I was asked. I was looking at
okay.
that now.
All right. We're going to go to the,
I'm going to talk about reconsidering motion.
Take from the table. You can reconsider. We would have to vote to reconsider it.
if you're looking to do that.
And if it passes, then we can revote.
Ryan voted no. If Ryan wishes to change his vote, he can ask for a reconsideration. He come back. Sorry. Ryan voted no, but if he wishes to reconsider the vote, then he could change his vote to yes, and at that point, Mr. Mangus can actually vote, and it has a possibility to change. But
All
that's what he's looking up now.
Motion to reconsider.
If you can anyone just bring it back up for reconsideration and not change
Anybody
the
on the
vote?
winning side? Anybody on the winning side can vote to reconsider. So the winning side would have been the fail.
Well, I'm going to give 3 more seconds and we're going to move on.
Does anybody on the failed side want to reconsider so I can vote?
All right, moving on. All right, 19. Adopt a resolution to add the following roads to the priority road list for consideration. Adale Lane, District 6, Councilman Mangus. Coyle Bay Drive, Councilman Mangus.
I'd like to add one to it.
Councilman Coates would like to add one to it. Go ahead, Councilman Coates.
That's going to be Adale Lane in District 8 as well.
Adale Lane and District 8.
Both of our districts cover portions of this road.
Okay.
I want to just thank Mr. Coates on that. We looked it up, and we both share parts of that road. So
let's do the whole road.
yes,
Got it.
if the engineers say it's right and just, yeah.
Okay. Is there a motion? Councilman Coates?
Make the
Councilman
motion.
Oates? Second by Councilman Mangus. Vote. All right, that passed unanimous. All right. I wish we have, I know we have people here for board appointment stuff, and then we have addendum. So, you know, we're going to go right off into the board appointments, and then we're going to go directly into then we're going to go to the addendum. So let's just go ahead and get this next one out of the way. All right, board appointment number 20, Master Review Committee, Councilman Wascom.
Yes.
And Councilman Coates.
Oh.
You got something on there too?
Yes.
Okay. Hold up. Is it the Master Plan Review Committee?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Councilman Wascom, go ahead.
Yeah, Sandy, do you have that information that I emailed to you, or Caroline, the name of the person I'd like to put on that board? If not, I got it right here. Yeah.
Barry Duplessis, right?
Barry Duplessis, that is correct. My current, the one the appointment for the Master Plan Review Committee resigned, served on that and the Planning Commission Yeah, I think, she was serving on PARDS and that one, and she resigned at the same time, so I'd like to ask to put Barry Duplessis on there. I'll make that motion.
What's the
Barry?
time?
Talk to me. I'll make that motion, Billy.
All right. There's a motion by Councilman Wascom, second by Councilman Mangus.
I have a question.
They serve at the pleasure. They don't have a time frame. Councilman Coates.
Mr. Gerard, I just want to make sure, I know that Councilman Erdy asked you this earlier, but are these board appointments properly labeled?
I don't know that there's enough. Looking at, let me ask Mr. Wascom. The one you're talking about is an expired?
Yes, the one I'm using, she resigned. And
Yeah, I think that
she resigned, and so it's been empty for 6 months. And I've been trying to find somebody that would volunteer to serve, and I found somebody, and they'd like to serve, so I'd like to put them on. Is there a problem, Mr. Coates, with that?
No. There's no problem with that. I'm just making sure.
Okay, yeah, I think that is proper, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So did we ever accept that resignation?
That's what he was just saying, thought it was done before.
All right. I need a motion to accept the resignation of the previous, or we don't have it. All right. Need a motion to remove her.
Motion to remove Ms. Julie Dias Norris and
Yeah.
replace her with Barry Duplessis.
All right. Got a motion, got a second. I'm gonna open the floor. Close the floor. Vote on your computer. We'll start saying, just cast your vote. Okay. We got 8 yeses, 1 abstain. Was there conflict on abstain?
Is it on the agenda correctly? That's the reason I'm abstaining.
Yeah. I think there could have been more clarity, but I don't think it's improper because it was
Somebody challenges
who-
it, we'll bring it back up.
Okay, I'm just gonna abstain.
No,
Please.
I really don't, other than what I was just saying.
Okay.
I think it could have had more clarity, but I don't think because of the, that's why I asked the
As my direction for the
what I asked
council
the
staff,
question and I
that
did.
we have done this for, we've done, they've been doing this for years, long before us. This will be put on here differently next time. This one, it will say and this is my directive on this, it will say that they're either being removed they're being, yeah, and who it is, why they're being removed.
And Mr. Taylor, that's what I was talking about, clarity-wise.
Yeah, it will be very clear. They're going to be either removed or resigning or reappointed or appointing. It will have their names on it. If you can't put their name on the agenda, every councilman will put their name on they will put that person's name on the agenda, who they're removing and who they're putting on. I think that clarifies it, right?
That's the clarity that I was talking about. I think
Okay, so
it protects you guys as well.
It corrects us,
Right.
or protects us. All right, does that mean that B, are you ready for yours?
Yes, I'm ready for this one because it is labeled on there.
Okay, which one are you going with, the master review committee?
Yes, master review.
Okay, go ahead.
I tell you what, I'll hold both of these until next week when we make sure that the agenda's correct. 100%.
So you want to pull item B? 20B?
Yes, that
All right.
and the A
And
as well.
I know there are people here to speak on behalf of that. I will give them their opportunity to speak on that on 20B, Livingston Parish Airport District, if anybody wants to speak on this. Or we will do it again in 2 weeks. We'll pass until 2 weeks. Going once, going twice. All right. Addendum. A2. Introduction of an ordinance. Ms. Sandy, will you read that by title?
This will be proposed ordinance 26-14. It's an ordinance to rescind.
Guys, y'all, it bounces off back here. I can't hear what she's saying. Thank you.
This will be an proposed ordinance 26-14. It's an ordinance to rescind Part 3 Land Development Code consisting of chapters 100, 105, 110, 115, 117, 120, 125, 126, 127, and 130 of the Code of Ordinances for Livingston Parish, Louisiana in its entirety, in addition to provisions of the Code of Ordinances of Livingston Parish, Louisiana, insofar as they regulate land development matters. The public hearing will be held on July the 23rd at 6 p.m.
Okay. This is Unified Land Development Code. Do we have, nope, this is just the introduction. A3, introduction. No, we already did A2. A3.
Okay, this will be proposed ordinance 26-15. It's an ordinance to adopt a unified land development code for Livingston Parish, providing for the consolidation and reorganization of land use zoning, subdivision, and development regulations at Part 3 Unified Land Development Code of the Code of Ordinances. The public hearing will be held at 6 p.m. on July 23rd.
All right. Thank you. A4, adopt a resolution to grant a setback waiver of section 130-11D for proposed AT&T telecommunication tower located on Bobby Gill Road, Council District 6. All right, I got information from our planning department that says that the conditional waiver that we gave, they didn't like it, and if we gave that, it would give them a full waiver. So they asked us to put it back on the agenda to either give them a waiver or give them not a waiver. And so I actually have Mr. Steve Irving here. Is there anybody from here from AT&T? Did they not show up?
Not see them.
All right. I put this on here. Do we want to give them a second chance to show up? We emailed them, right? Did they respond?
I think that's the council's prerogative. You know, we actually took the ability to grant waivers out of this cell phone ordinance. This particular situation is extremely unusual, as we've discussed, so that would be the reason for even considering it. But whatever the council's pleasure is.
Do you have a suggestion? You said we took the ability to grant waivers off of this, right?
We took the ability to grant waivers out of Part 130.
Okay. We have beat this up. This is the third or fourth time this has been on the agenda. This is Council District 6.
Yeah,
You want to do a waiver, Mr.?
I am going to point out one thing, that my understanding is that this was filed before the amendment of the ordinance.
Okay.
This application was processed before, and that was the whole issue and the confusion when they came the last time.
Okay.
So my recommendation is you put it back on the agenda if a chance. So it's clean.
All right. I'm going to we're going to need a table A, 4, and 5. All right. All right. That's a motion. Second by Councilman Mangus. Vote. Cast your vote. Give them ample time. That passed unanimous with 8 yeses. That was unanimous. I voted 8 yeses, 1 abstain, and we understand the abstain, Mr. Lonnie. This is executive session A6. U.S. Court Case, Middle District of Louisiana Civil Docket for Case 325 CV 00714 BAJ LB, New Singular Wireless versus Livingston Parish, Louisiana. Do you have to read all of that, Ms. Sandy? Yeah, go ahead and read it.
Executive session, U.S. District Court, Middle District of Louisiana Civil Docket for case number 325-CV00714-BAJ-RLB, New Singular Wireless PCS LLC versus Livingston Parish, Louisiana. Assigned to Judge Brian A. Jackson, referred to Magistrate Judge Richard L. Bourgeois Jr., cause 470605, Communications Act of 1934, date filed 8/8/2025, jury demand none, nature of suit 890, other statutory actions, jurisdiction federal question.
All right, there will be no, I have to say this, there'll be no action taken in the back, but there may be an action taken when we come back from executive session. So if you want to stick around, I advise you to.
There won't be any need to take any action on this tonight.
Okay.
I'm just going to brief you.
We're just going to go in for a briefing for executive session. Do I have a motion for executive session? Motion by Councilwoman Sandiford, second by Councilman Shavers. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. No.
Channel 17, proudly serving the Florida parishes.
Got a motion to go back into regular session by Councilman Goff, second by Councilman Coates. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? No opposed. All right, no action was taken in the back, and at this time we have nothing to actually give any information. It was just informing us of what's going on this this lawsuit. Going back to the front side of the page, committee reports. Finance Committee.
We had a finance meeting earlier. Thank y'all for staying. It was good.
All right, infrastructure.
Infrastructure, we have a date set and it'll happen every month moving forward. That's it. Thank you.
All right, ordinance committee.
Ordinance Committee's been slow because of the UDC. It's about to really pick up, and thank you, council, for our actions tonight to discuss the issues with racial slurs and misbehavior.
All right. District Attorney report.
Nothing to report.
All right, Councilman Wascom.
Yeah, I don't have any report. I would like to say it's an honor to serve with some of the Livingston Parish finest. And I would like to say Mr. Algero is doing a great job as an attorney. I just want y'all to know that.
You're only saying that because he told you that you were right on the record.
I told you he's a smart attorney.
Councilman Coates.
I'm good. I don't have anything to say.
Councilman Shavers. Councilman Erdy. You gave up. I'll come back around to you. Councilman Erdy.
No, everything is kind of cool over there. We just ramp it up for the late summer and the fall, so I'm good for tonight. Thank you.
Councilwoman Sanford. Councilman Mangus. Keep it going. Nobody's got anything.
I don't have anything.
Councilman Coates.
I just want to say, everybody, we've had some tragic vehicle crashes down in District 8. And just please be careful when you're driving, especially at night. I know our roads aren't always well lit. Just slow down, take your time. It's not worth having a bad incident. That's all.
Ricky's World.
All of the comments, I would just like to say that shout out to Mr. Moody. Miss him. So that's it.
All right, Councilman Watts. Motion to adjourn. Motion by Councilman Shaver, second by Councilwoman Sanford. All in favor say aye. Aye. Anybody negative? Nope. All right.